Good morning, everyone, respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, and dear participants. This is Dr. Bhageshri, your host. I welcome you all to the first session of KRISHI GYAN 21 Days International Summer School Training Program, themed on agri entrepreneurship, innovation, and skill development. This program is organized by Next Gen Agri Innovation Foundation, Agribusiness Incubation Center, Rabi, Dr. PDKV Akola, in collaboration with Just Agriculture. In this training program, we will cover 15 plus modules related to agriculture and agripreneurship. The stakeholder participants of this program are students, scientists, working professionals, farmers, and industry persons. In this program, we will discuss in detail of each topics like drone technology, saffron farming, microgreen farming, pearl culture technology, organic and natural farming, artificial intelligence in agriculture, and much more. So, without taking much time, I move forward and I welcome you all to the Krishi Gyan 21 Days International Summer School Training Program. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Devendra Pal Singh sir to share his view and details about this event. Before he start, I would like to share some of his insights and achievements. Dr. Badwal sir is a dynamic speaker, agripreneur, educator, and socially active professional. He is the CEO and founder of Just Agriculture Education Group, President of Indian Society of Agriculture Science and Technological Research, Noida, and Ishrat Foundation, Chandigarh. He has received prestigious honors such as the Best CEO of the Year award by Times of India. Recently, he has organized India's first agripreneurship program in collaboration with esteemed academics and business consultants to promote innovation and growth in agriculture. He has trained over 20,000 agriculture students and organized 10 international conferences, 20 workshops, 29 training programs, 3 international expos, summits, and events. He has built India's leading agri magazine named Just Agriculture with over 1 million readers across India. He has published more than 41 popular articles, 15 review and research papers, 8 books, and he is also a renowned member of many government agriculture societies. Through grassroots innovations, impactful journalism, and institutional collaboration with ICR bodies, Dr. Badwal continues to transform agriculture education and outreach across India. Sir, we are honored to have you here with us. On behalf of everyone, I welcome you and please over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bhageshri. I guess I am visible and audible.
Yes, sir, you are visible and audible.
Thank you. So, firstly, I would like to welcome you all. More than 1,000 participants have registered for this 21 days summer school training program. Today is the inaugural session, and it is an honor for us. From last 4 years, we are organizing these types of trainings, and it is only authentic program which is organized jointly by the PDKV Akola and Just Agriculture. So, good morning to all the esteemed dignitaries, respected Vice Chancellor and international experts, CEOs, and eminent scientists, HOD, deans, and students from Pan India who have joined through in this program through YouTube, through Zoom, and other social media platforms. So it is an immense pride, humility, and gratitude to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you. So as this is the inaugural session of 21 Days International Program, so we focus on agripreneurship, innovation, and skill development. So because agripreneurship is the need of the hour, there are hundreds of students passing every year through agriculture background. But if we can't transform these students, if we can't make them job creators rather than job seekers, only then our mission of transforming India is only successful. So this transformative initiative is proudly organized by Just Agriculture Education Group in collaboration with the Next Gen Agri Innovation Foundation and Dr. P.D.K.V. Akola. So it is not the launch of only a training program, but it is the dawn of a bold new chapter in India's agrarian transformation, a movement towards a smarter, sustainable, and inclusive agriculture future. The theme of this summer school training program is agripreneurship, innovation, and skill development, which reflects the commitment of agriculture sector, the commitment of our community, the commitment of all the stakeholders to bridge the gap between the academic knowledge and the time-honored farming traditions and cutting-edge technological advancements. So this program is meticulously designed to equip participants with the tools, mindset, and expertise needed to thrive in the agriculture sector of tomorrow. So in this whole curriculum, we will deliver a different dynamic range of futuristic models, focusing on hydroponics, focusing on the drones, focusing on artificial intelligence, blockchain, natural farming, and many other topics. So, as I already told you, this is not only a training program. This is a launch pad for agripreneurs, innovators, disruptors, crafted by the global experts, driven by industry leaders, endorsed by academia, and trusted by the next generation. So, this is a beacon of hope and opportunity for all the agriculture sector. So, if we talk about the highlights of this program, more than 7 ICR University Vice Chancellors and State Agriculture University Vice Chancellors are joining in this program. And if we talk about another dignitaries, more than 30 eminent industry leaders, CEOs, and India's most forward-thinking agri-entrepreneurs are also joining this program. Moving forward, more than 10 international experts are also joining, which showcases the authenticity of this program, which showcases the global presence of this program. This presence is the testament of our shared vision, which commits for the mentoring, for the nurturing, and empowering the next generation of agri entrepreneurs. So together, we are not just building the skills, we are also cultivating a global ecosystem of innovation and collaboration. So the legacy of authenticity and excellence. So from last 4 years, we are organizing these programs. This summer school is not a standalone event, but a part of a robust continuum of the transformative initiatives. Over the past 4 years, we have organized more than 15 training programs like this, and more than 15,000 students got trained by us, which is the maximum number. Then from the organizing FDPs, international conferences, scale-based programs, startup incubations. So we are working with more than 2 lakh agriculture youth in the pan-India. So what sets Just Agriculture apart is not the breadth of the programs, but also the initiatives which are authentic, which are parallelly aligned with the ICR programs, which are aligned with the ICR institutes, ICR universities. So this summer school is a shining example of our mission to access the world-class agriculture education and the systematic change. And I would like to thanks mainly Dr. P.D.K.V. Akola University, one of the India's most esteemed agriculture universities. So our chief guest of the session is also joined. So I welcome you, sir, Dr. Ashok Alu, sir. So as I'm talking about the Dr. P.D.K.V. Akola, so it is one of the India's most esteemed agriculture universities. It is the cornerstone of this program's success. And I extend my deepest gratitude to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.R. Gadak, sir, for his visionary leadership and support. I also thanks all the NGIF team, Dr. Santosh Gahuka, sir, Dr. V.K. Kharche, sir, Dr. S.S. Meem, sir, along with all the team initiatives. So together, we are not just training individuals, we are building a skill, we are innovative minds. So just wrapping up for the chief guest, sir. So let us move forward with the spirit of collaboration over the competition, innovation over the implementation, and purpose over the position. So, in the words of our great leaders, let us honor the spirit of Jai Hind, Jai Kisan by building an agricultural legacy. And thank you. And let us make this summer school a milestone in India's agriculture renaissance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your such a great talk and giving and sharing us the detail about the event. Now, moving forward, as sir already told, it's our honor to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Ashok Alur, sir. Before he proceed, please allow me to introduce him. He is a visionary agriculture scientist, policy expert, and institutional builder, currently serving as the first vice chancellor of Kodagu University, Karnataka. With over 25 years of distinguished service, Sir has made transformative contribution to agriculture, horticulture, food security and farmer producer organization across India and abroad. Previously, he has served as the first Vice Chancellor of Bharatiya Engineering Science and Technology University, Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh. He has also laid a strong foundation to new universities. He has also led major national and international programs with ICRISAT, FAO, World Bank, and others promoting climate resilient agriculture, watershed developments, and rural livelihoods. As the first director of Center of Excellence for FPOs, he was instrumental in shaping the Karnataka's FPOs policy 2018, which impacted over 1 million farming families. He is a recipient of more than 30 awards, including 20 international honors. Professor Sir is celebrated orator, author of 50 books and global thought leaders. He has published over 30 bulletins, 65 scientific papers, and 230 soil and water resources atlas. His mission, Million Millets Farmers campaign, continue to inspire sustainable agriculture innovation across continents. Now I welcome you, sir, on behalf of everyone and extended a warm welcome to you. This platform is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhagyashri. Thank you, Dr. Badwal. Uh, Friends, a very good morning to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure to be part of this international program, KRISHI GYAN program. It's a 21-day summer school focusing more on agri entrepreneurship and also many other topics, focusing on innovation and other aspects of entrepreneurship development. Full screen. Can you see my slide, Bhagyashri?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
No. Is it visible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, since we are talking about innovations and skill development, I thought, you know, smart soil and plant health management is one of the most discussed, topic. I thought I will share a few of the latest developments and innovations connected to soil and health management. Friends, we are all aware that agriculture is one of the important backbone of human civilization, and it provides sustenance and economic stability to the entire population. And it also meets the demand for food and other requirements of the human beings. And we have seen the traditional farming practices. Basically, they have evolved over a period of time, but they were short in addressing some of the challenges of climate change and soil degradation. So we are now talking about smart soil and plant health management, which is one of the important topics being talked everywhere today.
Sir,
So
sorry
the
to interrupt you. Can you please turn on presentation mode, sir?
one second, ma. Presentation mode. Is this okay,
Uh,
Bhagyashri?
sir, full screen presentation view is not visible, sir.
not visible. Skip. Huh? Now, is it visible or not?
Sir, your PPT is visible, but not in a presentation mode, sir.
Oh my God. Now, is it okay, Bhagyashri?
Okay, sir, you continue.
Okay. So we have seen, several tools being used. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence, data analytics, help the farmers to take very informed decisions about crop health and plant health. So we have also seen over years there has been a misuse of chemicals, whether it is in the form of fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, or whatever it is, and overuse of irrigation water, deforestation. All of them have combinedly led to soil degradation. According to UNESCO, which says around 75% of the world's land is threatened by degradation, and this could also rise to 90% by 2050 if the current trend of soil management continues. This is a very alarming situation. So with the advent of precision agriculture, which basically utilizes several technologies such as GPS technology, remote sensing technology, Internet of Things, all this will help the farmer for a real-time monitoring of the field conditions. And we have seen AI can help really in analyzing huge data collected from the fields, and machine learning algorithms can help in predicting the pest and disease outbreaks. So this can give precise recommendations for the farmer to take corrective measures. What I would like to share here is how we define, how do we look at soil and plant health management in a smarter way, and what are the benefits this smart soil and plant health management gives to the farmer. If you look at the definition of smart soil and plant health management, basically it is the integration of different advanced technologies, different practices, which basically aim at monitoring, assessing, and improving the soil and plant health. This is being done by leveraging several tools such as use of sensors, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and farmers can definitely make very informed decisions to enhance the crop yields, to protect the crops from pest and disease outbreaks. You can conserve resources and promote environmental sustainability. So if you look at the definition, it is very, very important for us to consider the smart soil and plant health management systems. If you look at the benefits, it brings several benefits to the farmers. Basically, it helps in risk mitigation because we are now doing early detection of pests and diseases. We are also trying to make the nutrient deficiencies, which will help the farmer to take very timely interventions and thus reduce the crop losses. And resource efficiency is very, very important aspect, that the optimal use of water, fertilizers, and pesticides, they will reduce the wastage and they will also bring down the cost of production. There will be increased productivity because we are trying to use the resources efficiently. We are real timing, monitoring the crop health and also the soil health. And we are also trying to use the data driven decisions, which will help the farmer to get better yields and also the better quality. And all these three benefits put together help the farmer to bring down the use of chemicals and soil degradation in a long run. And why this is important? Soil and plant health, they are supposed to be the most fundamental to any farm productivity. They are also equally fundamental and useful for the environmental sustainability. Understanding their significance is very, very essential in designing the best management practices. And there is a strong interconnection between soil and plant health in terms of nutrient cycling, in terms of disease suppression, and also the dynamics pertaining to hydrology or water. So if you look at the healthy plants, why we have to have healthy plants is basically to ensure food security. Healthy crops only can give stable food supply. There can be economic sustainability with the healthy crops because we can expect very high quality produce, and then extremely good ecosystem services, because plants play a very, very pivotal role in carbon sequestration, oxygen production, and also the habitat provision. So these are some of the aspects which attach a lot of importance to soil and plant health. If you look at different factors that affect the soil and plant health, say basically it includes the organic matter content. As we're all aware, the organic matter content improves the structure of the soil, the capacity of retaining water, and also the holding nutrients and then making them available to the croplets. It affects the soil structure, the pH levels, and also the diversity of microbial activity in the soil. So, what factors they affect the plant health? We are also trying to see here. Basically, nutrient availability. Unless nutrients are adequately available, which are required for the growth and development of crops, again we cannot expect a good growth of the plant. And water supply, both water deficiency and excess can harm the plants. Pest and disease pressure on the crops, and also the environmental conditions. So these are most important aspects that we should look at. So if you look at the technological advancements in soil and plant health management, we are now trying to look at integration of different technologies in agriculture. This has really revolutionized the way we manage, the way we understand soils, and how we can retain soil and plant health. If you look at the innovations, that have been part and parcel of precision agriculture, which includes remote sensing, data analytics, they have provided lot of tools and implements to the farmers to monitor, to optimize their production practices, which can help the farmers in increasing efficiency and sustainability. So if you look at precision agriculture, basically friends, we are now talking about precise farming. So precision agriculture basically involves use of different technologies to monitor and manage the vulnerability, variability, differences, problems that are occurring in the field, and they will help in precise application of inputs, whether it is in the form of a pesticide, fertilizer, or water. So in precision agriculture, all application of inputs will be very precise. And if you look at the key components of precision agriculture basically includes the global positioning system, which really helps the farmer in enabling accurate mapping of the fields, tracking of the equipments, also facilitating the site specific management practices. And then we're talking about geographical information system, which helps in the analysis of spatial as well as temporal data in decision making, and also the variable rate technology. This is very important because this will enable the equipment to apply inputs at different rates across the field based on the specific needs identified by different technologies. This is very important because our soils are not uniform. In the entire soils, they have every inch of soil is different. So the variable rate technology is one important aspect in precision farming, which help the farmers to vary the rate of application of new inputs. I would like to just touch upon few of these, technologies. One is remote sensing. Remote sensing basically it helps in collecting the data on the crops as well as soils from a distance. May we make use of satellites or we make use of drones, which are equipped with various sensors. And the important applications of remote sensing, it includes the multispectral and hyperspectral imaging. Basically, we are capturing the images at different wavelengths just to assess the plant health, identify the stress if it is there, and also monitor the overall crop development. And then we also make use of thermal imaging technique here, which basically measures the temperature variations, just to identify or understand the stress with regard to water and also stress which is happening due to diseases in the plants. And we also have this light detection and ranging, which basically provides detailed topographic information to assist in the land management and also in the erosion control. We also make use of soil sensors in precision farming. It is basically the in-field sensors. They provide the real-time data on soil conditions. Thus, they help in taking right decisions. So if you look at the sensors, which are the sensors that we are trying to use here? One is moisture sensors, that we use them to monitor the content of water in the soil, and also we also take this input for deciding to schedule the irrigation. And then we have nutrient sensors, which basically measure the level of key nutrients present in the soil. Basically, we focus more on nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and this will help the farmer in guiding the fertilizer applications. And then we also have pH sensors, which will assess the acidity or alkalinity in the soil, which affects the supply and availability of nutrients and also the activity of microorganisms in the soil. So these are the soil sensors. So we also have data analytics and decision support system. This is very, very important because we are trying to collect vast amount of data from various technologies. We are talking about different technologies, but they need to be sophisticated, analyzed and then made use in decision making. The important tools and systems basically include the farm management software, which basically integrates the data from multiple sources to provide actionable insights and record keeping. We also look at the predictive modeling, which is making use of the historical as well as real-time data to forecast crop performance, pest outbreaks, and other things. And then coming to robotics and automation, in this case, the advancement of robotics and automation are really transforming lot of labor intensive tasks in agriculture and horticulture. For example, autonomous tractors and machinery. Autonomous tractors and machinery, they operate with minimal human intervention, and thus they increase the efficiency and precision. If you look at the robotic harvesters, basically they make use of the sensors and artificial intelligence to identify and harvest the right produce, and thus reducing the labor costs. And looking at the weed control robots, they employ machines to vision and detect, remove only the weeds mechanically or with a targeted herbicide application. So these are very interesting technologies that are there in agriculture that are helping the farmers to take agriculture to the next level. We have been talking about Internet of Things in agriculture. And all these days, we never touched much about these technologies. Now it is the need of the day. In this case, the Internet of Things basically helps in connecting the devices and sensors across the entire farm, thus help the farmers to get seamless data, and then it will also give the communication. How do we use the Internet of Things in agriculture? It's basically the smart irrigation system. It is, we are trying to make an adjustment, changes, variations in the water application based on the data of the soil moisture and also the weather forecast. So this is a very important aspect in smart irrigation management. Coming to livestock monitoring. See, in this case, the livestock are fitted with wearable, devices that track the animal health, animal behavior, and also animal location. So this has made the life of the farmer very simple. They can bring down the number of labors required in monitoring the entire livestock. And another important aspect of IoT in agriculture is environmental monitoring. Basically, the sensors, they measure parameters such as temperature, they measure humidity, they also measure lift to optimize growing conditions. The technological advancements are reshaping the entire soil plant health management, and they are offering a lot of tools to meet the challenges of modern farming. So, by adopting, by embracing, by using these innovations, farmers can definitely achieve greater efficiency, higher productivity, and also sustainability in farming systems. Coming to artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence, how this can be used in smart soil and plant health management. Friends, we are now talking about AI in every aspect of life. AI is revolutionizing the entire agriculture sector by providing a lot of solutions which are new, which are innovative, and they can address the complex challenges that are associated with plant and soil health management. By leveraging artificial intelligence, farmers can enhance the decision making, they can optimize the resources in agriculture, and they can also enhance and improve the crop productivity and also the quality of the produce. If you look at different applications of artificial intelligence in agriculture, friends, AI can be used in agriculture in monitoring the crops and also the detection of the diseases. And this can also be used in soil analysis, prediction of the yield from a given piece of land, and also identifying and management of the weeds that are there, because they have a capacity to distinguish between the crops and weeds, and thus they can allow the targeted herbicide application or even
Sir,
picking mechanically the weeds, and thus reducing the use of chemicals
sir,
in a.
sorry to interrupt you. Your slide is not changing, sir. It is on first slide only, introduction.
No, but you should have told me, no? Huh? Good, Karim. Good.
Yes, sir, now it has changed. Yes.
Now I'll just go with this mode only. Huh? Now, please tell me if there is no change, you can just remind me, okay?
Okay, sir.
So, if you take the benefits of, is it moving now?
Yes,
What
sir.
is-
Yes, sir.
It's moving now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you look at the benefits of artificial intelligence in integration, see, AI can be integrated or incorporated into soil and plant health management, and it can offer several advantages. One, this will help the farmers in making right decision at right time, because it is completely based on the data driven insights. This can reduce the uncertainty faced by the farmers, and this can also improve the management practices. AI can also help in optimizing the resources and their utilization at the farm level, because we are talking about precise application of inputs, whether it is fertilizers, chemicals, water, waste management, and all those things. Then early detection of pests and diseases, nutrient deficiencies. So this will help the farmers in promptly taking the actions, corrective actions, and also reducing the crop losses. And the last and the most important aspect is the labor efficiency. Automation of monitoring, automation of all these practices in the production, they can reduce the entire requirement of manual labor. This can also bring down the cost to a greater extent. But there are certain challenges which are associated with artificial intelligence. One is the data quality and availability. This is very important unless we have good quality data, because we need a large quantity of data which is required for decision making. And sometime in some of the areas, some of the regions, it's very difficult to get the quality data. And then this also requires a lot of technical expertise. Farmers need training to effectively use and maintain artificial intelligence based tools in agriculture. And the initial cost, because the high initial investment, it can be one barrier for the small scale farmers in Indian context. And the last one, the last challenge is the ethical and privacy concerns, because handling of large data must comply with the privacy regulations and ethical standards. These are some of the challenges that are associated with artificial intelligence, despite of its several benefits. So if you look at future prospects of AI in agriculture, friends, we are all aware that AI is transforming the entire farming. It is helping the soil and plant health management by providing lot of tools and techniques that can enhance the efficiency, productivity, and sustainability. As you are aware, as the technology advances, the integration of AI into agriculture will continue to play a very important and also a pivotal role in meeting several rising demands of the population. If you look at the future of AI in soil and plant health management, this is very, very promising, because if you look at the ongoing research, which is now focusing on the soil and plant health, now the scientists are now trying to integrate with the Internet of Things, combining artificial intelligence with Internet of Things, devices for real-time monitoring and decision making. This is what is happening. Then development of user-friendly interfaces. This is also a very important aspect. And then scalability of solutions. How do we ensure the artificial intelligence tools are adaptable to farms of different sizes, different shapes, and all that? And then sustainability focus. This is very important, because aligning application of artificial intelligence with sustainable agriculture farming practices, and also to address the environmental challenges is one of the important aspects. So what I would like to say here, the artificial intelligence has a very, very bright future as far as agriculture sector is concerned. I would also would like to bring down to bring some of the initiatives of the government of India. How different initiatives of the government they have been able to help the farmers with regard to soil and plant health management. Friends, we are all aware that the government of India has taken up several initiatives to promote soil and plant health management. They're trying to aim enhancing agriculture productivity and also ensure that there are sustainable farming practices. If you look at the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, we call that as NMSA. This is focusing more on promoting sustainable farming practices and also the climate resilient practices and technologies. And some of the important components pertaining to soil and plant health management under NMSA is soil health management, basically the initiatives to improve soil productivity and fertility through integrated nutrient management practices, on-farm water management practices, and also promoting or encouraging integration of trees into farming systems through agroforestry, which will help the farmer in improving the soil health and also provide additional income to the farmer. We have another important initiative by the government of India, that is National Project on Organic Farming. We call that as NPOF. This basically aims at promoting organic farming through various activities. One is capacity building, trying to train the farmers, the trainers, and the certification agencies on organic farming, conducting long-term research projects and supporting studies on organic farming practices. And also the most important aspect of organic farming is the quality control. There we are trying to establish the standards and certification processes for organic products. So this is an important initiative of government of India to promote organic farming in the Indian context. We also have Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Basically, this was launched in 2015. It aims to enhance the irrigation coverage and also improve the water use efficiency in a very focused manner. We know that the program really brings in the convergence of investments. They're trying to expand area under irrigation, improving the on-farm water use. This is very important because the water management practices are very inefficient and they end up in a lot of water wastage. There is a need for us to look at the practices that reduce the water wastage and also promote the precision irrigation technologies. And then the another important aspect is enhancing water conservation, and various programs under this includes Har Khet Ko Pani. This is a very important initiative, ensuring access to water for every farm through development of minor irrigation projects. Per crop, when the per drop, more crop. This is another wonderful initiative promoting micro irrigation technologies, whether it is drip or sprinkler irrigation, to enhance the use of water efficiency. And then we have watershed program, basically undertaking soil and water conservation practices, including ridge area treatment, drainage line treatment, and afforestation. And Karnataka has been one of the pioneering states in the entire country to promote watershed development. The entire thing is under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. We also have Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, PKVY, which is again launched in 2015. And we have one important subcomponent which focuses on soil health management, which basically aims in reducing the dependence on the chemical fertilizers and pesticides in improving the soil health. And also it supports the promotion of organic farming through cluster-based approach. And the key important features of PKVY include the formation of the clusters, training and capacity building of the stakeholders, basically the farmers, and also financial support, for the farmers to go for organic farming, and also the support for marketing. This is very important because this scheme is trying to facilitate the marketing of organic produce through branding, packaging, and they also promote and help farmers to participate in several trade fairs and other things. And then we have a soil health card scheme wherein this was again launched in 2015. It aims to help the farmers in making very informed decisions about the soil management. And the objective is to assess the soil health, guide the farmers with fertilizer use, and also promote sustainable practices on the farmers field. So, if you look at the technological innovations in soil and plant health management, friends, we are now seeing a lot of advancements in technology, and they have really helped in a very significant way with regard to soil and plant health management practices in Indian context. The integration of modern technologies has really helped the farmers in more efficient, sustainable, and precise farming practices, thus helping the farmers to enhance the productivity. And some of the important such techniques include soil intelligence system, SIS we call that. This was launched in 2019. Basically, this was launched under the Serial System Initiative for South Asia. The soil intelligence system is now trying to help it's a very important and a very promising innovation that generates high quality soil data and also brings that in the form of a digital map. And this exemplifies how digital technologies can empower farmers with actionable insights, how they can help the farmers in taking or promoting sustainable agriculture practices. The SIS system helped the farmers in precise agronomic recommendations, in reducing the fertilizer, in reducing the overuse of water, in improving the efficiency of soil and water, and also reducing the greenhouse gas emission, and thus help in protecting the environment. If you look at the challenges and future directions in soil and plant health management in India, despite several innovations, despite several significant advancements in soil and plant health management, we continue to face several challenges which require concerted efforts from the policymakers, researchers, and the farmers. So, if you look at the challenges, addressing these challenges requires a holistic approach that can combine sustainable practices, technological innovations, capacity building, and also supportive policies and continued research on this. Some of the important challenges that we can list here is the soil degradation, which has happened because of excess use of chemical fertilizers, deforestation, and unsustainable agricultural practices, all those things. They have resulted into soil erosion, soil depletion, nutrition depletion, loss of soil fertility, productivity, soil health. And then climate change, yes, the erratic weather patterns, yeah, enhanced temperature levels, unpredictable rainfall, they have adversely affected the crop yields and they are continuing to do that. And we have limited awareness and training program because many farmers do not have access to modern agriculture knowledge. This is very important. We have to make use of the technology mediated technology transfer so that we can reach these technologies to the farmers. And then we have resource constraints. This is one of the important challenge, you know, limited access to quality inputs, financial resources, and also the infrastructure that will hamper the effective soil and plant health management. And these needs to be addressed on a war foot basis. Friends, when we talk about agriculture, agriculture is basically to do with the community. It is the farming community. Unless we engage farming community, brings suggestive and supportive policy to them in soil and plant health management, we will not be able to realize the dream. The effective soil and plant health management in Indian context basically necessitates the active participation of farming community and also the requirement of robust policy frameworks. And we are now talking about the community engagement of the farming community. This can be achieved through educating farmers, training their farmers, building the capacity of the farmers, and then trying to do research along with the farmers. We call that as a participatory research. And also, how do we monitor these aspects with the community, the farming community? These are very important. Unless we involve the community, we will not be able to achieve the end results in a desired way. And what type of policy support is required? Friends, the policy support is one of the most important aspects. Unless there are policy supportive mechanisms, we will not be able to achieve the soil and plant health management in a desired way. We should come out with good incentives for sustainable practices. research and extension services to the farmers, regulatory frameworks, and also requirement, supporting the infrastructure development. Unless we do this, the soil and plant health remains as a dream to us. Then how do we bring the traditional knowledge into modern practices? This is very important because in the Indian context, if you look at agriculture, we have been into agriculture system several, millions of years, and the India's rich agricultural heritage offers lot of experiences, offers valuable insights into sustainable soil and plant health management. We have lot of traditional knowledge, we have a lot of traditional experiences, we have a lot of traditional techniques, and by integrating these traditional knowledge systems with the modern scientific practices, we can successfully enhance the resilience in agriculture. We can look at sustainable agricultural practices. Some of these practices basically include the traditional soil fertility practices, the Vrikshka Ayurveda, the science of plant health, indigenous pest management practices, community seed banks, biodiversity conservation, and also reviving the traditional water management systems. In Karnataka, I would like to quote one or two examples with regard to the traditional water management practices. We have certain tank irrigation systems in a district called Kolar in Karnataka state, where the tank irrigates hundreds and hundreds of acres of lands of the farmers. The entire community comes together, looks at the water stored in the tank, and then they make a very precise application assessment. If the tank is not full, all of them will not plant paddy there. They will look at how much area the existing water storage can irrigate. So based on that, they do it. And they have on and off system that we call that as a Warabandi system. All those such good practices can be, implemented in the modern style. I would like to touch upon few aspects what is the future of smart soil and plant health management in Indian context. Friends, the future of smart soil and plant health management lies in the conservation, you know, of the resources, and how do we converge advanced technologies. We call them as cutting edge technologies, innovative agricultural practices, and a strong policy support. As the population in the world continues to grow, climate change intensifies its challenges. Adopting to advanced solution is the only way for ensuring food security and environmental sustainability. In this case, we have to look at autonomous and robotic technologies. Basically, these autonomous systems, which includes robotic tractors, robotic drones, harvesters, they can play a very significant role in soil and plant health management. These systems can autonomously monitor the conditions of the soil. They can suggest the farmer an application of fertilizers and pesticides. And they will also come in a handy way to harvest crops, reducing labor cost and ensuring precise interventions. The use of unmanned aerial vehicles, they can also be used in imaging, or getting understanding the soil plant health, which is now being used in several farms in Indian context. We had also looked at the integration of big data and cloud computing. Now, because this will facilitate collection, storage, and analysis of vast agricultural data, farmers can definitely, take real-time insights on the soil plant health and weather patterns and crop performance through cloud-based platforms. AI-driven systems can help the farmers in realizing the data to provide predictive insights, recommendations on soil management practices, that will help the farmer in making decisions with regard to optimal crop and plant growth. Coming to precision irrigation systems, wherein precision irrigation systems, they will help make use of sensors, data analytics, and they are very, very important because they can help the water directly deliver to the root zone. We talk about micro irrigation system, we talk about drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation system. All these are enhanced with the real-time data, and they are there to help us in improving the water use efficiency while while maintaining the health of the soil. Then circular economy in agriculture is very, very important. The future of smart soil and plant health management involves adopting principles of circular economy, includes recycling of organic waste, recycling of use of compost, bio-based fertilizers, reducing the dependency on by 10 minutes synthetic inputs, and also and minimizing the environmental impact. The technologies that support the conversion of agricultural waste into valuable resources will help the farmers to close the loop, and this will also help in benefiting both soil and plant health in a wider ecosystem. So circular economy attains more and more importance in the later in this part of the agriculture sector. Then smart greenhouse and vertical farming. And we are know that the smart greenhouses and vertical farming systems, they are becoming more and more prominent, especially in the urban areas. And they make use of the controlled environment to optimize the conditions for plant health. They rely more on sensors, artificial intelligence, and automation. They will help in monitoring soil health and nutrient levels, and then environmental factors. By increasing production efficiency in limited spaces, smart greenhouses and vertical farms, they can certainly offer solutions for addressing the food security in the urban areas. Then some of the climate resilient agriculture practices, there is a need for development of climate resilient agriculture practices, research and innovation on drop resistant crops, heat tolerant varieties, soil health restoration techniques are very, very important. And adopting to these climate smart agriculture practices can help the farmers in striking an ecological balance, balance in the food production, and thus they can help us in ensuring long-term sustainability in agricultural production. Friends, the global knowledge and knowledge sharing is very important. These are the days of collaboration. We cannot do everything on our own. There is a need for collaboration. The global knowledge sharing will help the farmers in advancing the smart soil and plant health management practices. The international research partnerships, knowledge sharing, exchange of best practices will certainly help the farmers in developing the innovative solutions for several and varying diverse agroclimatic conditions in Indian context as well as in the global context. Countries will need to collaborate on policies. There is like the way we do it on trade agreements, and there is a need for international technology of transfer of technology to ensure that these advancements are accessible to all the farmers in the developing countries. And finally, I would like to conclude by saying that the future of smart soil and plant health management is promising. With a wide range of technological crop production, reducing environmental impact, it will help in building resilience against the climate change. And then the key to success basically lies in integrating technologies with sustainable farming practices, helping the collaborations among the various stakeholders, and also bringing a supportive policy environment that helps and encourages innovation and adaptation. If you look at the entire future, the future of farming depends on smart, integrated, and sustainable approaches to soil and plant health management, with specific focus on research, more focus on innovation, and also with an enabling policy environment, the Indian subcontinent can lead the way in ensuring food security, environmental sustainability, and resilient agriculture practices in the face of climate change. Friends, by combining traditional knowledge with latest technological advancements, India's agriculture sector can thrive in 21st century and also beyond. I stop here, and I would, uh, request if there are any questions, the organizers can provide my slides to them, Bhageshri, and if they have any questions, they can also write to me. I am also available on the LinkedIn platform, and the purpose is to share knowledge. And thank you very much for this opportunity. And I hope I have tried to share certain information with all of you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable session. On on smart soil and plant health management. It was our honor to hear you, sir. On behalf of everyone present here, I thank you for your informative and provoking address. If participants have any query, please free to ask or drop down in the chat box. Chat box is open now.
Now, in case they have questions, they can ask me also later. You can share my email with them, or you can share my LinkedIn connect with them. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. If
Yeah.
anyone is having questions, drop down. I'll forward them to sir. I'll share their address, email address, and details.
You
Now
can just
moving.
come into my LinkedIn profile to them. They can be connected over that, and it can be a regular interaction for them. We also share a lot of information on the LinkedIn profile. Okay. So thank you very
Okay,
much.
okay, sir.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Now moving forward, it's my pleasure to welcome our next speaker. Sorry for the interruption. Now moving forward, I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. S.R. Poon sir. Before he start, I would like to share his valuable insights in today's session. He is nationally recognized expert in innovation, intellectual property right at technology management, currently serving as corporate head, innovation and IPR at Endurance Technology Limited. Following a distinguished career at Mahindra & Mahindra, Mr. Poon sir has handled over 1,200 patents and successfully licensed 4 patents. He is certified as patent expert by Japan Patent Office. He is also honored with numerous national and international awards, including those from WIPO, CII, and the Institute of Engineers, India. He is also a respected governing board member of SAE India and CII National's IPR Committee. Sir, we are truly glad to have you here for our today's session. Now I hand over the platform to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatkar. And just I will request that permission so that I can share my presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So friends,
So before you start, can you please make it in a presentation view, sir?
yeah, it's in the presentation view. Slides are in the presentation view only. You are getting 2 slides or what?
Like,
The next, what is going to next? What is going to come next? That is also you are saying.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Just a minute. Is it okay now?
No, sir, your slide is not visible. Yes, sir. Now the slide is visible.
Okay, so whether it will be okay now?
Yes, okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. So very good afternoon, friends. So it's going to be the almost quarter past 12. And today, just see that I will talk about or take you through some innovations and how one has to protect that. Because the today's topics, what I was communicated, that the kind of the content of the today's audience, it is all about the kind of some PG or doctorate students, some faculties, emerging faculties, and at the same time, there are the entrepreneurs also. Okay, and all the kind of a technologies that previous speakers they might have focused on, what is the kind of a, that the kind of a technological need as on that to have the kind of boost in the kind of agriculture domain. So they might have stressed different kind of a technologies. Few words I heard about the kind of a, that terrace farming or the kind of a, that greenhouse or kind of a, some that biotechnology, and there are the kind of a lot of areas. But what sort of the areas are there? So, what are the innovations you are doing in that area to take the agriculture to the next level? So, the protection of that technologies under the IPR is very much important. Okay, and hope that you people might be knowing that IPR, it is intellectual property rights, and how it is significant to sustain if you are entering into the kind of a entrepreneurship or some business, because for sustenance of the business or sustenance or the kind of a, some sustainable growth of your entrepreneurship, so IPRs is quite very much important. Okay, so what's the technology, product, processes, or I may say the kind of services what you are catering to. So that should, if they are coupled with that the kind of a correct type of the IPRs, so that will be very much beneficial for the sustainable growth of your entrepreneurship or your business. So with that perspective, I'll take you through that intellectual property rights. So before I enter or start from my end, so can I have that any one of you people can unmute yourself and share your views, what you understand about the IPR and whether it is a part of our day-to-day life. Please, you can unmute yourself and you can open up. Because just see, if the session is interactive, definitely it will add some value. And of course, it will be the kind of exchange of the know-hows also. I may also learn something from you. At the same time, I may also share what I know. So, any thought, any input from your end? What is your understanding? Because just see that you might have in the morning sessions you heard all about this thing. Yes, you need to focus on certain agriculture related technologies to boost up the agriculture or to take the agriculture to the next level. Okay, and that's because they have focused some technological areas also. Now, yes, you might have got the areas. You will be working in that particular area. You will be focusing that areas. But while doing that, what are the innovations you are doing in that technological area? So you need to have the IPRs on that. So what is your understanding about the IPR? Any thought? Anyone can unmute?
That you are already on unmute.
No, but then if they are unmute, then they can speak. I think they are all
Actually, sir,
muted. I am asking a thing that what is your
actually,
understanding
sir,
about the IPR? Number one,
the
and the second part will be the whether the IPR is the part of our day-to-day life.
so the question answers round will be we are giving the last 10 minutes for that. You can
Okay,
complete your
okay,
presentation. In the end,
okay,
we'll have the interactive session.
okay.
Okay.
Number one. Number two,
Yes,
that how
yes.
much time I have?
You have a half an hour or 1 hour.
Okay, fine. Perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. Okay, so I will take you through that journey of the IPR. So why that IPR for the competitive age? So already I told you that what's the technology you are developing daily, you need to have the kind of a competitive edge as far as your entrepreneurship is concerned. then IPR is must. So I will start with this quote, none other than our Prime Minister, and here you can see all the relevant these three words in this particular quote. Okay, what today you are assembled for. So here it is a startups. What you can see, startup is nothing but the kind of entrepreneurship or some business. Another one word you can see the technology and innovation. Okay, and how the technology and innovation can be the kind of a transformational tools or the effective instruments for the transformation. So the your technology and innovations will be the effective tools or the instruments for the transformation of the country or the transformation of the agriculture when and only when that your innovations are protected under the IPR. Okay, so with that perspective, I am showing this particular quote, and this is something that how we are generally everyone is or every individual is starting with. Yes, that innovation ecosystem, it starts with the creativity. Every human being has the creative work or creative mind. So it starts with the creativity. Once you have created something, then you need to bifurcate it, whether it is the innovation or invention. And once you have bifurcated and understood the scope, what the exactly you have done an innovation or really you have done the invention, then accordingly you need to protect it under the right type of the IP at the right time. And once you have protected, then you need to focus on how I can fortify that my protected IP to have the kind of a business advantage. And once you are doing that or making that kind of a habit, then definitely at the end of the day, you will have the kind of a business impact out of that your protected technology, irrespective of the domain, whether it is the agriculture domain or any other domain wherein you are working in. So today we will focus on that protection of technologies under the IPR. And when you are going to this ecosystem, so the first two step that is called as the kind of a creation. Then second step it is the protection, and of course once protected, then how we can commercially leverage it to have the kind of a business or the kind of a financial advantage. Okay, so that's why this is the kind of a CPL kind of a, that innovation ecosystem: create, protect, and leverage. And if you are not protecting your creations at the right time, then similar kind of statements you may see that yes, this is my ye maine kiya hai. Okay, if you are not protecting under your name at the right time or under the right type of the IP and at the right time. Okay, or if that McDonald's would not have protected their that IP as a kind of that trademark, so you would have seen today in India that the chole bhature is sold under the name of the McDonald's. So that is the beauty, that how you are creating your distinguishing identity as far as your technology or products or services are concerned. Or the third thing is that if you are not having the kind of a copyright on your work, or if you are not doing or what's your that composition or work you are doing, or the writing work or the research work or the research paper you are writing, if you are not having that your legal ownership on that by way of the copyright, then anyone will say that this is the thing what I have written. Okay, so that is this is how that how it is important to any kind of entrepreneur or any kind of agroneer to protect their that agriculture related technology under the respective that or the relevant type of the IP. Okay, so I had already raised that one question, and I have the second part of whether it is a part of our day-to-day life. So if you are referring to today's newspaper, so today morning when I was taking the tea, that I came across that today is that 1st of August, and the Sakal newspaper, it was carrying a news that one of the professor or one of the researcher, he has filed the kind of a patent on the kind of a biodegradable plastic. Okay, so generally you might be knowing that plastics, they are the kind of a petroleum based product, they are taking the years together or to get it degraded, and that's why it is deteriorating the quality of the soil. Okay, and that's why to address that particular issue, that Dr. Deepak Busare, you can see on the screen. Okay, so he had worked out a kind of a biodegradable plastic. And if you want to have the much more details on that, either you can contact with Mr. Dr. Busare, or you can refer to the today's newspaper, or that patent number is mentioned in that. And if you're going to that patent document, you can have the much more details how you have gone for that. So this is the thing that IPR, it is not it cannot be the kind of a someone's kitty, but it is the part of the day-to-day life and everyone's life. Okay. Okay, so that particular message I want to give to this particular slide. So with this, I will try to cover the difference between the innovation with this kind of a context, setting the context. I will try to cover the innovation invention, what is the IPR, different types of the IPR, why one should go for filing it. So what are the benefits of the IPR, and what is the process of that. Okay, so with this, I will stop and then we will have the kind of a question and answer on that. Okay, so what is the innovation? So yes, there are the kind of different definitions of the innovations. Yes, it may be the kind of a successful exploitation of any new idea. If any new idea comes to your mind, yes, out of that or any kind of that foolish idea comes to your mind. So how you are successfully executing it to bring it to the reality, that is nothing but the innovation. Another one definition, it may be the capability of continuously achieving the desired future. So this is given by that, yes, that today the technology level is this. Down the line, 5 years, 10 years, where I want to see this particular technology to go on. If you are focusing on that area, and I think the similar kind of the messages were given in the previous sessions, whatsoever the sessions I could attend. Okay, so if the technology level capability or technology today is this one, where you want to see that technology down the line or tomorrow. If that is that, if you are working in that particular direction, that is nothing but the innovation. Third one, any kind of a product or process which is creating the kind of a value for your end user, and you being the kind of a people or the researchers related to agriculture domain, so your customers or the end users, it will be the farmers and the kind of every human being who is consuming that your product delivered by your technology or by your process. Okay, so that's why the third definition, it is nothing but kind of a developing a process or product or that will create a kind of a good service or the value for the end user or the customers. But the pictorial definition, it is your state of your mind. Okay, really, if you want to address some technical problems, if you want to take to some technology to the next level, you need to see or you need to change your vision. Okay, and that's why when you want to change your vision, so it comes to your mindset. So the picture shows that in that particular picture, you can see generally in the rainy season, we are using the umbrella to protect self from the rainwater. But how someone has created the same umbrella or customized that same umbrella, okay, by inverting its canopy to harness the purest form of the water. Okay, so that umbrella is now not only protecting that person, but at the same time it is harnessing or it has become a kind of a solution for harnessing the purest form of the water. And this is how that the innovation, it starts from your state of your mind. Okay, so if you are changing I mean to say in other words that you need to come out of the comfort zone. Okay, so if you want to really do the innovations, so you have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to break your boundaries. If you are working only from 9 to 6, coming and going to the office, the innovation doesn't come into the picture. Okay, so that's the message I want to give here. And all these are the kind of examples how these are the kind of innovations. So the first example, you can see that that this is the copy of the tea mug and the small improvement has been done in, but having the very high impact in that. Okay, because that thermosensitive strip has been integrated with the tea or the coffee mug, and it is giving the indication whether that mug has the beverage therein or not. I mean, if yes, it is the hot or the cold. Okay, so it may probably lead to avoid the kind of a possible accidents, and that's why that is the benefit out of the kind of a small improvement, and that small improvement is nothing but the innovation. So this is another one example, the very good example of the innovation of the space management. No need of having the kind of a dedicated table and the chair to operate your desktop or the kind of a laptop. Okay. Third one, it is all about the integrating the two components. Okay, no need of carrying that two different dishes or two different containers for the tea and that your cookies in the kind of a tray when you are serving it to anyone. Okay, this is the kind of a, that all these are the kind of examples wherein that the kind of a all very small improvement has been done, and that's why they are falling in the category of the innovations. Okay, so I hope that you having understood what do by the innovation. So I am coming to the invention. And invention and innovation, there is a kind of hairline difference. Okay, So invention means that whenever you are doing something for the first time, then that is called as the invention. And when you are doing something or some improvements on the existing product, so that is called as the innovation. Now, when the wheel was invented for the first time, it was the invention. But whatsoever the wheels we can see today, in a kind of a very customized format, rubberized, or the kind of a pneumatic wheels to transport or to take us from one place to another. So all that are the kind of a subsequent or the kind of a gradual improvements over the kind of a that base wheel. And that's why the whatsoever the wheels we can see today, they fall in the category of the innovation. But whatever the wheel which was invented for the first time, that was the invention. Same is the story with the kind of a telephone. So you might have seen the telephone, that communication device. It was quite bulky and all this thing. But the way in which Steve Jobs just thought, "Okay, how I can make this communication device pocketable, so compact that I can have that in my pocket, along with some added features to it." Okay, so the when which they work in that particular direction, so that he work on the innovations. Okay. Now, why I'm telling this particular definition difference between the innovation and the invention? Because most of the times when the R&D works are done, generally they are in the category of the innovations. You are going step by step, step by step. Very few that I think that whatsoever you get, you take any of the kind of a research firm, any kind of a research institute. Okay, so 90% of the research work, it is in the form of the innovation. It is a kind of a gradual improvement over the existing technologies. Very few, I can say that 10% research work happens a kind of a breakthrough research, which leads to give or impart to some that the inventions in that. Okay, because that's why that when you are doing the innovations and when you want to protect that your innovations under the IP, you need to pen down that your innovation in the language of the invention. And that's why one need to understand the difference between the innovation and the invention. Okay, so all these and these are the kind of the types of the innovations. Either it may be the product, it may be the process, it may be the business model. When I'm saying the product, it may be kind of a hardware. If you are developing kind of a good device or the machine related to agriculture, that will be the product innovation. If you are working out the kind of a that process, how you are making the pulp or the berries or the cookies from the mango or something or some many of the agriculture fruits. Okay, so that is called as the process innovation. Okay, business model, how you are commercializing that your product in the market, what the kind of innovative way we are working in that. So if that is your creation is of that category, then that is called as the business model innovation. If you are working out some model that which is giving the kind of a best or the kind of a economic services to the end users or the farmers. So if that your creation in that particular direction, then that can be the kind of a service innovation. Okay, then frugal innovation, when we are doing some improvement over the existing one in a kind of a very marginal way, then that is called as the frugal innovation. And the innovation which is making the disruption in the market. I mean to say that it is a kind of a some breakthrough technology kind of a thing, or which is making that your competitor to change the way of doing the business. If your thought process or your creation in that particular direction, then that kind of innovation is called as the disruptive innovation. And the innovation in between frugal and disruptive innovation, which lies in between the frugal and disruptive innovation, that is called as the radical innovation. I meant to say that yes, it is not that kind of a marginal improvement also, but at the same time that innovation could not create that much of the impact, okay, which will create the disruption in the market or which will create the kind of a disruption in the competition. So if that is the kind of a thing, then that kind of innovation is called as the radical innovation. So what's the type of your innovation is all about? Okay, so if it really, if you want to protect under the IPR, then you need to accordingly pen down that your innovation in the language of the innovation. Okay, and that's the art. And that's why that there are the kind of IP services or the people who are giving the services in the field of the IPR. They are capturing or they are guiding you to pen down that your innovation in the language of the invention. So having understood that, if you are saying that why that IPR is the part of this particular session, because just see, if you are saying that the world level data that India is quite lacking as far as the patent filing is concerned. Okay, the China is the leading one, and whatsoever that 100% or the, I can say 3.2 million patents are filed. on annual basis. The China 80% of the share is being owned by the China, followed by the US, Japan, Korea, and Europe. Okay, so India is very much lagging in that. So might be the because of the kind of a lack of the awareness, and that's why that today's session probably will help you to get educated on that particular fund. Okay, and these are the kind of exact numbers. So 80% of the what's of the patents are getting or IPs are getting filed across the world. So 80% of the patents are getting filed by these five countries: China, US, Japan, Korea, and India's share in that 100% hardly 1.7%. And that's why here one need to see that yes, we are doing the very good innovation, but as far as when it comes to the protection, I think we are not that much matured or not aware, and that's why we are a little bit lagging in filing or protecting that our innovations under the IPR. Okay, so with that perspective, I'm showing this particular slide. These are the kind of that some technological areas in which country is leading, but going beyond, so when it comes to the global innovation index, so our global innovation index, we are the number one as far as the South Asia is concerned. I mean to say that there is a kind of that good jump as far as the global innovation index is concerned in over the last 5 6 years. Our rank in 2015, which was 81, which is now that 38 as far as that the global innovation index released on September 2024 is concerned. Our rank is the 39th rank as far as the global innovation index is concerned. Here, I mean to say that as far as the Indian territory is concerned, or the Indian researchers are concerned, so yes, they are doing the very good innovations, and that's why that it has helped to improve our rank as far as the innovation index is concerned. But when it comes to the kind of global IP index, and when I am saying the global IP index, so that means that the kind of a intellectual property index. So we are at the bottom. We are at the bottom of that particular rank, and why that particular that difference is huge gap is there. Yes, when it comes to the innovation we are in the top people, and but when it comes to the kind of a global IP index we are at the low level, because yes, we are doing the innovation, we are but we are missing it to protect it under the IP, and that's why that it has come down. Okay, so that particular thing I want to tell out of this particular slide. So having given this particular background to about that intellectual property, now I will take you through that actual subject matter of the intellectual property. So I will start the definition word by word. The property, I think the definition of the property everyone knows. All the tangible assets, all your belongings, all your that physical assets, property, or that your land or farm or bungalow or deposits or gold or your investments. Okay, so all that property everyone know. But now, when I'm trying to prefix one word to it, that is the intellectual one. Okay, so I think that is quite understandable. The property being created out of the intellectual thought process. Okay, or where your intellect is coming into the picture, or the any kind of a property being created wherein that your intellect is coming into the picture. So that is called as the intellectual property. Okay, so that is a kind of a very pictorial definition, but in short, as per the IP laws of the country, so any creative work by the human being, it may be in the form of the innovation, invention, mechanism, machine, some setup, or some improvement in the existing machine or process or method, or the kind of a aesthetic look of any of the product, okay, or any kind of a literary work, or coining a kind of a very differentiating symbol to distinguish either your product or your service or your process from the competition's product. So in that case, that all kind of a creation it is called as the intellectual property. Okay, so that is the definition of the intellectual property as per the Indian IP laws. Okay, so having understood that, now I am one more word I am suffixing to it, that is the rights. Now you have created something, okay, and if you want to say it's mine, then you need to undergo a certain process of its protection, okay, and by that way you are getting certain rights, and that rights is called as the intellectual property rights. So what are that rights? So one is that legal rights. That means that you and only you are the legal owner of that your creation, and that rights are being granted by the that government of the respective territory. Number one. Number two, the monopolistic right. That means that as far as your creation is concerned, you and only you are the decision maker, where to sell it, at what cost to sell it, or what to do with that particular product or technology. That's you are the sole decision maker, and that's why by that way you are getting the monopolistic right and the territory in which you want to enjoy the above two rights. That is the monopolistic rights and the legal rights. So by that way you are getting the territorial rights, and to enjoy that intellectual property rights, what one has to do, one has to disclose what he has done. Okay, so here the disclosure comes into the picture, number one, and these rights can be enjoyed by for the specific period of time. Okay, so you need to disclose to the government of India, yes, I have done something this, and for that I want to have the that my monopoly or the kind of a legal ownership on that. So that you the either by way of the patent or trademark or design or copyright, whatsoever the form, it depends on your that disclosure, what nature of that your disclosure is all about. So based on that you will get that. So that is called as the intellectual property. Okay, so having understood that, so this is something I will skip. Okay, so that's all about the intellectual property. So here the I will tell you the story that this was the first IPR or the first patent file in the 14th century. Okay, and this was done by Mr. Filippo. And the technical problem what is solved at that time was how to transport the marbles across the sea route at the low cost. Okay, and accordingly he has worked out a solution for that. And I think the similar level of the or similar analogical questions we are also addressing day-to-day life. Okay, yeah, whatsoever that your research area or the research domain is there, but at the end of the day you are doing the research keeping that your end user or the kind of a customer in the forefront. Okay, so how to transport the marbles across the sea route at the low cost, and this was the solution. He had worked out some pedal boat or something. Okay, that was that he has done for the first time. And since there was no the kind of a IP laws and all this kind of a thing, it was the kind of a monarchy period at that particular time. So he went to the king and then asked for the rights or the kind of a ownership on that, and by way of that he has got the right to burn any ship which is borrowing his design. I mean to say, the whosoever is will be copying his technology or the solution, this Mr. Filippo had the right to burn that solution. That means that अगर इस टेक्नोलॉजिकल एरिया के ऊपर राज करूंगा तो सिर्फ मैं राज करूंगा, no one else. Okay, so that kind of a, that right he has got at that particular time, and that was the 14th century. Okay, so this is how that you can understand the gravity what you can get today. So that was in that area. 3 साल के लिए जो है उनको कोई भी अगर कोई चीज उनका कॉपी करे तो he had got the right to burn that. Okay, so you can understand now, yes, what kind of a, that power you get today if you are protecting your that technology or research under the right type of the IP. Okay, so that was the kind of a, that patent file in the kind of Europe, but this was the kind of a first patent file in India. It was filed by that Alfred Drippening, and it was on the Pankha pulling machine. You might have seen that in the old age, or in the that or old era. So the that fan used to get operated by the humans. Okay, and to operate that particular fan, that Pankha pulling machine was that designed or developed, and that patent was filed in 1856, and this was that kind of a first Indian patent filed by George Alfred Drippening. Okay, so having understood, so I have shown you that the first patent in world, the first patent in India, and now this is the kind of a very good patent filed from the Maharashtra. Okay, so this was the person from Solapur area. The name of that person is Rahul Buranpare. He is a kind of a motor mechanic running his motor shop by the side of the road. Okay, and he has developed a kind of a one solution related to the EGR of the four wheeler. Okay, you people might be knowing that certifications or the kind of that BS4 certified vehicle or BS6 certified vehicle, and BS6 has become now mandatory. You take any four-wheeler. Okay, so now it is a BS6 compliant, and to in line with the kind of that BS6 technology, BS6 compliant technology, he has done something, filed the patent on that. Okay, and his patent was bought by Tata Motors Limited at the cost of 13 crores and 50 lakhs. Okay, so this is the person who is a hardly a motor mechanic doing his business on the roadside business, but when he has done something miraculously different to address the technological problem of the today's demand, okay, and when he protected it under the patent, so no one was able to copy that or use that, and that's why when it was the need of the Tata Motors, Tata Motor bought that patent at the cost of 13 crores. So this is the beauty, that if you are really doing some good research work, and if you are protecting it under the IP at the right time before you put in the public domain, then the miracles like this it can happen with you also. Okay, so this is the that one case study. Another case study, you might be knowing this, but I will skip this. Jandu Bam and that Dabang movie story, you also know that, because you might have witnessed that Jandu Bam was the kind of a word in that particular song. Mundi Badnaam ho gayi, Jandu Bam ho gayi. And then you might have seen how that word has gone from the song. Then there was a kind of a litigation, and then it was settled outside the court, because that Jandu Bam is the registered trademark of the Imami. And when it was used illegally or without any legal permission from the Imami in that particular song by the Arbaz Khan production, so Imami filed the infringement suit, and then it was settled outside the court. And as a part of that outside settlement, Arbaz Khan production had to pay 15 crores to Imami, and at the same time, Imami could negotiate to have that endorse that particular product by Malaika and Salman Khan for 3 years free of cost. So this is the power. If you are really protecting that your IP at the right time, then that you can do that kind of a very good things. Okay, so having told that the couple of that case studies, that I will go into subject matter why the IP is important for any entrepreneurship, or if you want to bank on your research, or you have done a good research, now you want to start your entrepreneurship on that, or if you want to really bank on your research, why it is important, because the kind of way that it's a fast changing technological scenario, there is kind of a neck to neck competition in the market. Okay, important one is the neighbor it is not friendly. Okay, if you are doing something today, who will still from you, who will still what from you, and accordingly how he will leverage it commercially in his favor, no one can guarantee. That's why the neighborhood is not friendly, and that's why under such circumstances one should know what is mines. Okay, and when you are understanding that, so how you can leverage that to for the survival and growth of yourself, at the same time yourself business. Okay, and that's why that is the kind of a perspective, or that business perspective, or the entrepreneurial perspective out of that IP. Okay. Now, when it comes to the types of the IP, so you go to any corner of the globe. So there are the two types of the IP. One is the industrial property rights, another one is the copyright. And when it comes to the industrial property rights, so it covers the patent, design registration. Some people they are calling it as a design patent. Then trademark, geographical indications, layout of integrated circuits, and plant varieties protections, or sometimes it is called as the farmer's right. And all these are the examples of the copyright: literature, musical composition, software, songs, drawings, paintings. Okay, so whatsoever that different types of the IP you can see in the left column. In that case, the registration to have, if you want to have the legal ownership, but the registration is mandatory if you want to establish your ownership on that. Okay, only copyright is the only that kind of a right where the registration is not mandatory if you want to establish your legal ownership. Number one. Number two, what's the IPs you can see on the left hand corner that patents to plant varieties protection. Okay, so they are the territorial nature, and they are, that right you can enjoy for a specific period of time. But as far as the copyright is concerned, it is a global one, and the enforcement period in case of the copyright, it is quite much big. Okay, so that's the difference between the two types of the IP. So going forward, I will touch upon to each of the type along with kind of a single example, and then the process of protecting it. In my previous slide, I was talking about that you can enjoy that rights for a specific period of time. So yes, if it is a kind of a patent, so you can enjoy that intellectual IP rights for 20 years from the date of its filing, provided your patent is application is granted. If it is a design registration or design patent, it is 10 years. But in this case, there is a provision for extension of the enforcement period by 5 years. So max 15 years you can enjoy here. In case of a trademark, it is up to your wish, provided you are renewing it in the slab of 10 years. And then copyright. Now, there is again the bifurcation. If the ownership of the copyright lies with the individual person, just like you and me, okay, so in that case, in that particular my work, the copyright will exist for 60 years after my death. Okay, but if the copyright is in the name of the legal entity, so in that case the copyright will in that work will exist for 60 years from the date of the first creation. So that the difference only as far as the copyright is concerned, in light with the enforcement period of that, depending on the ownership, whether it is an individual person or the legal entity. When it comes to the geographical indications, so again it is for that up to your wish, and if provided you are renewing it in the slab of 10 years. Okay, and when it comes to the plant varieties protection, then it is 15 years. Again, it depends or varies whether it is a vine or the kind of a that tree. Okay, so these are the kind of a different enforcement period for different types of the IPs. Now, starting with the first type of the IP. Okay, so what do you mean by patent? And for the IP, disclosure is mandatory. In my previous or the kind of a beginning slide, I told that if you want to enjoy the IPR, then there should be the kind of a disclosure. Okay, and we are now, I'm just specifying that disclosure. Disclosure is nothing but the agreement between two parties. One party is you people who are doing some research, working out some good solution, okay, or some good technology or some good process, okay, and the another party to that, it is the government of India. You need to disclose, yes, there was some technical problem like this, okay, but the solutions available were having certain limitations to that, and that's why I have developed something new product or process or something or method, whatsoever that your technology area is all about. Okay, and that's why I should be given the rights on that. So that you have to write in that disclosure as per the format specified by the respective patent office, and that disclosure is nothing but either your patent application, you can say, I can say it's an agreement between government of India and you. Okay, and when you are submitting that disclosure to that concerned authority of government of India, so they are not blindly giving you that IPs or patent or rights. Okay, they are assessing your that disclosure on these three criteria. One is all about the novelty. That means that there should be at least one of the novel feature should be there. Okay, so what's that your solution is there, improvement is there, technology what you have developed or process you have developed or method you have developed, it should have at least one novel feature, new feature, okay, which is not the part of the prior art. Okay, so if that is the case, that means that you are meeting the first requirement of patentability, that is the novelty. Now, going forward, whatsoever that novel feature is there, if that novel feature is contributing to the kind of a technological advancement, and at the same time it is imparting some technical advantages. Okay, so in that case, then you are meeting, if that your novel feature is doing this thing, that means that you are meeting the second requirement of patentability, that is the inventive state. Okay, and third one, yes, it should be reproducible, manufacturable. That is the kind of a third requirement of the IP, patentability. Now, your disclosure should meet all these three requirements, and then and only then that any of the patent office will grant you the patent. And that's why this is called as the patentability criteria. And this criteria is uniform across the globe, whether you file the kind of Indian patent, US patent, European patent, Chinese, Japanese, any document or any disclosure of yours will get access on these three criteria only. And if you are meeting all the criteria, then and only then that respective patent office will grant you the patent. Okay, so that's why it is called as the patentability criteria. Having understood that, just I am taking that our example of our day-to-day life. This particular product, I think everyone might have seen. Okay, so now if I am removing this particular cap, if I am removing this particular cap from this particular product, okay, and stretching the both ends in opposite direction, so what is it? It is nothing but the metal wire. But someone has given the wound to that metal wire in a specific manner. Okay, now the shape of that metal wire has got changed. Yes. Okay, and that's why that is the something new feature or the kind of a new structure of that metal wire. A metal wire with the kind of a wound given in the specific manner at the center. Okay, so it has become a kind of a some this kind of a V kind of a structure. So that is a kind of a novel construction. So that is the first part of that patentability. Novelty has come into the picture. Okay, now this novel feature, what this novel feature is doing, it is giving some technical effect. What the technical effect it is giving? It is giving the spring type effect, torsional effect. Okay, and that's why both the ends are getting departed like this. Yes, and that's why to keep both the ends together, the cap has been put up at that one end, and that cap has been provided a slit to accommodate the other end. Now, the new form of the metal wire has not remained only as the metal wire, it has become a device to hold the things together. Okay. So when it was done for the first time, so this was the novelty in that, this was the inventive step in that, and this was the utility of that particular product. That today also we are witnessing the utility of this product. Okay, and that's why when it was worked out or designed for the first time, particularly in 1850s, okay, it was done by Walter Hunt, and it was the US patent filed by Mr. Walter Hunt, to be precise, on 10th of April 1849. Okay, so if you are visiting the US patent database, you can download this document, you can read this document. This is a simple example what I have taken just to establish or just to give the understanding of novelty matlab kya hai, inventive step matlab kya hai, and utility matlab kya hai. Okay, so on that particular date it was meeting all the three criteria, and that's why it was patentable in 1850s. Aaj nahi hai. Okay, today anyone can copy this particular product and do the business. Okay, so that's one example. Another example is from Akola only. This is nothing but the paper envelope you can see on the screen. Okay, so the paper envelope, generally when you are making the kind of a paper envelope in by using the kind of a A4 paper, and if I have taken the A4 paper, so if I want to make the paper envelope, so what I will do, I will fold. So I will fold this paper envelope like this to make the kind of a A4 type of that envelope by using envelope. I will fold like this, then another part I will fold like this, overlapping on other that part. Then one part I will close, and another part, another end will become the kind of a lid. Okay, so that is the kind of a conventional folding profile of that paper envelope, paper to make that particular envelope. But this person from Akola, the name of the person is Madhav Buskute. He totally worked out a different profile of folding the paper to make the same size of the envelope. Okay. Now, where the novelty comes into the picture? Okay, the folding profile to make the same size of the envelope. Okay, so that is the novel feature of that envelope. Now, because of that novel feature, what the technical advantage you are getting? He is saying that I am able to save the paper. I am able to save the resource. I am able to save the raw material. Okay, so that is the kind of some technical advantage what you are getting because of that your novel feature. Okay, so that means that when the novel feature is imparting that particular thing, so technical advantage that you are meeting the second requirement of patentability, that is the inventive step. So these are the kind of supporting diagrams of him. Okay, and these are the his results for that. And the first column you can see the size of the envelope, and the last column you can see this much of the delta paper he can save. over the kind of that conventional folded envelope. Okay, so this is a technical advantage. Okay, and that's why he filed the patent application in 1991. He got it granted, and he just not took the patent granted, he licensed it with one stationery manufacturer. Okay, and that's why on this particular envelope, okay, you can see that notification also, grant number also, and the caution notice also, that copying this particular technology or copying this envelope in any form will lead to the kind of a legal action. Okay, so when he licensed that envelope to a stationery manufacturer, and this was the era of 1991. Okay, no that other communication medias, even the cell phones were available at that time. Every communication used to happen through the envelope. So try to understand the consumption of envelopes at that particular time. Okay, so whatsoever the envelope they are manufacturing, so envelope probably might be costing some 25 paisa at that time. Okay, but hardly if you are getting a royalty of 0.01 paisa behind one envelope. So just you assume this is per day income of that individual person. He is nothing but a person from your own region of Akola. He is staying in the Ramdas Pet. You can visit him also, understand his experience. And now, why I'm showing this is a very simple examples of patent, because there is some misconception that if to go for the patent, some complex technology is required. It is not our job to go for the patent. Okay, I mean to say that even the small improvement, small technical problem, or the small solution also, if you are working out, and really, if that solution qualifies on the test of novelty, inventive step, and utility, that qualifies to protect under the patent. Okay, that message I want to give, and that's why I'm giving this kind of a example. So this is from another example from your domain. This is the lateral of your irrigation system. Okay, so if you are going for the drip irrigation, so there are the kind of laterals, and this, so this is a kind of a one lateral where it is oozing out that water in a kind of a very kind of a controlled way, and that the controlled way, depending on the crop or the water requirement of that particular crop, whatsoever the flow paths you can see in that particular lateral, so patent is on that. Okay, so this is how some, this is also the kind of a technology how we can optimizely use that irrigation water to irrigate our that crop or the orchard. So for that, this technology is there, and this is also the patented one. Okay, so this is again that this is again the one thresher, but I will skip this particular slide. So like this, even the small things also you can go for the patent. This is also the kind of a one farmer's shoes, which can be used for dibbling or the kind of applying the kind of a granular fertilizers to the crop. So when you are walking, just the kind of a container will be on the your back, like a backpack. Okay, and when you are walking, the shoes is having that integrated this particular mechanism. And when you are walking in the field, so that at the same time you can that fertilize that apply that your granular fertilizer to the crop also. But this patent, this is our call that mechanism, what is in that book, and this is the patent filed in 2016 by Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. Okay, so these are the kind of some examples as far as the patent is concerned. On the top of that, what you should keep in your mind, the abstract ideas are not patentable. If it just you are giving that your details on the broader level, okay, then that cases won't be patentable. Okay, number one. Number two, patents are territorial in nature. Okay, number two. Number three, as per the Indian patent law, the law says that the person who files first. Okay, suppose if you are really working on a good technology, so you have to be very cautious while sharing or disclosing or discussing that technology to your neighbor, your friend, or your partner, or whatsoever it may be. Because when you are sharing something, if some of the front person is picking up that, and if he is also from that particular technological area or domain, okay, and if he is filing that patent having understood that technology, if he is filing that patent in his own name, you can't do anything. There is no legal remedy therefore. The law says that the person who files first. And that's why the message what I want to tell is that really, if you are serious enough in the development of the technology to have that legal ownership on that, So be very cautious while sharing anything related to the technology before you file the patent application on your technology. Okay, number one. Number two, patents they are the strategic tool, but important one is that filing the patent it requires the kind of a special budget at your end also. Okay, yes, it is very less. You particularly the academic institutes, researchers and individual person, they are falling in the category one of the applicants, wherein the kind of a government fees they are very meager. Okay, only the year what the case you will have to pay for is the kind of a professional fees of the that patent experts who is drafting the patent for you. Okay, so that's why you need to go for that or manage the budget also for that. So that I want to tell you. So important thing, a patent is a technological document, is the technology description in the legal language, and that's why drafting of the patent it should be very thoroughly done from the good patent expert. Don't go behind that. Yes, I want to get that patent granted just within 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. The people will file anything, they will get it granted by some other means, and just it will help to just have some numbers in front of your name. Yes, you are having the patent, but exercising that patent it will be very difficult, and that's why that patent expert and the technocrats or the researchers they should be hand in hand. If it is a poorly patent drafted, then it may boomerang on you also, and you might be knowing that story of, from the Hindu mythology of the Bhasmasura. Okay, when you are not taking the IP person in confidence with you while drafting the patent, then your own technology may boomerang on you. And this is a very simple story. You might be knowing the Bhasmasura. Okay, he was a deity of Lord Shiva. Okay, and Lord Shiva was a researcher. He was having the lot of technology in his hand. Okay, so he was the owner of that technologies. So when the Bhasmasura prayed for Lord Shiva got happy, and then he said, "Ki bhai, I am very much happy on your prayers. So now just you demand what you want." Then the Bhasmasura, sir, मुझे ऐसा टेक्नोलॉजी दो कि जिसके सर के ऊपर मैं हाथ रखूंगा, so he should get converted into the ashes. So at that time, the researcher that Lord Shiva or the technologist Lord Shiva, he didn't consulted that subject matter with the IP person. Okay, he handed over that technology to Lord that Bhasmasura, and then Bhasmasura said, "Thank you very much for the technology, but really I want to check whether really it works, and that I want to check on you." And when then that Bhasmasura tried to put his palm on the Lord Shiva's head, he realized that yes, it has no boomerang with me. And then he started running, and while running, he went to Vishnu. He was the kind of some IP expert, you can say. Okay, and then he said, Vishnu said, Ki, bhai, it's your perennial problem. You are creating such a kind of a problem, then I have to settle. Okay, now just you hit somewhere, I will take care of. So by the time Vishnu takes the incarnation of the beautiful lady Mohini and starts dancing. So by the time that Bhasmasura reaches there, now he is forgetting Lord Shiva. He is getting attracted to the beautiful lady. He also following. He also starts dancing and following her dance. And during the dance step, when that she is taking one step like that, taking the palm on the head, and since Bhasmasura is following, when he himself took his own palm on his own head, he got converted into the ashes. So that's why, friends, the message what I want to give, just for the sake of filing, don't file the patent. Try to understand the technology, because that IP itself is a kind of a double-edged sword. You should be able to leverage it to be ahead of the competition, to be ahead of the business. Okay, but at the same time, it should not boomerang on you also. So that's why that message I want to give. Okay, so that's all about the kind of a first type of the IP or the patent, I can say. Now, when it comes to the second type of the IP, that is all about the design patent. Okay, so that was all about the patent, where the requirement was about the kind of a novelty, newness, inventive step, and utility. And as far as the patent is concerned, any machine, any hardware, any setup, any method, any process of manufacturing, any process of preparing, any recipe, any formulation, all that falls under the patent. Okay. Now coming to the second type of the IP, that is a design registration or design patent. It is for the aesthetic look of the product. Okay, split of the technology they are in. Now suppose if I am taking a kind of this writing pen. Okay, so how it looks like from the outside, what is the look of this particular product, वो काम करता है कि नहीं करता है, ये refill कैसे बाहर आती है, that's a technology that will get covered under the patent. But how it looks like from the outside, that is only getting covered by the design patent. And here the requirement is that as far as that your aesthetic look of the product is concerned, there should be at least a novel feature. That's all. Here only the novelty is required. Okay, and all these are the examples of the design registrations. आपका जब से बाटा का या कोई अच्छे कंपनी का सैंडल या शूज लेते हो तो उसका सोल भी जो है वो प्रोटेक्टेड रहता है. एवरी ट्रेड जनरली आप कोई भी कंपनी का टायर खरीदी, okay, so that generally falls under design patent. And that's why every cookie, every biscuit, it differs from biscuit to biscuit, though the manufacturer remains same. Okay, so all these are the kind of examples of the design registration. Here the only the aesthetic is required, aesthetic features are getting covered. Okay, so this is a kind of a different views what you have to submit as a part of the disclosure to patent office, along with one page form, one page application form, wherein they are capturing your coordinates, your name, your contact details, address, and under which class you need to protect that product. Okay, suppose if you are taking a kind of a threshing machine or a dibbler, you have or you have developed kind of a some shader or a kind of a develop a kind of a very good product. Okay, so one isometric view, and with respect to one of the angle, then front view, rear view, side A, side B, top and bottom. These are the kind of a different views are only the requirement as per the disclosure under design registration or design patent is concerned. Okay, so that's all about the second type of the design IP, that is a design patent. Third type of the IP is about a trademark. Okay, जिसको आप लोगो बोलते हैं, लोगो या जो हमने कॉमन लैंग्वेज में. Okay, so trademark. So in this particular trademark, you can use the alphabets, numerals, color combination, product photo, animal photo, your own photo, my photo, anyone's. लेकिन फाइनल कॉम्बिनेशन जो आपका नाम का बन रहा है या जो उसका बन रहा है, so that should have the novelty in that. Here the only again in case of the trademark, the novelty is the kind of a requirement if you want to protect your creation under the trademark. Okay, and all these are the kind of all examples, everyone knows that. Okay, so when they were protected, they were that kind of a first, and now we cannot copy and protect that. Yeah, one thing I want to tell you that yes, the tagline, just what you can see here, the ऊंचे लोग ऊंची पसंद और ठंडा मतलब कोका कोला. Okay, और जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी, which is the LIC's tagline. Okay, so such a kind of a tagline also qualify for protection under the trademark. Okay, so that's the story. So this was the kind of a one case happened in Nashik. This was a Yahoo hotel, and you might be knowing that there is a Yahoo.com, that is a kind of a that information platform. Okay, so when that Yahoo name was used for the hotel, Yahoo.com filed the infringement suit on that, and then that they had to pay some financial damages. Okay, and it was again settled outside the court, and as a part of that, they had to change their name. Okay, so that's why the protection is must. Okay, so that you can take the kind of legal action whosoever is copying. Okay, or you can sue that kind of a person who is trying to copying or infringing your product or process or trademark or design. Okay, but for that, before that, the registration in your name or protection in your name under the IPR is must. Okay, and as far as the copyright is concerned, so copyright already I told you that in case of the copyright, the registration is not mandatory. As soon as that you complete your literary work or writing work or composition or any kind of that work, and if you are establishing or creating the evidence that yes, you have done this on this particular day, so you can, that is sufficient enough. You want to fight the legal battle also. Okay, if you want to register it formally, you can, but in this case, to to establish the legal ownership, the registration is not mandatory as far as the copyright is concerned. The way in which you can see on my slides also that the symbol of the copyright, the year of creation, and the name written. And now today, if I am creating evidence that yes, I have created this by sharing this particular, making it tamper-proof and sharing to all the participants of this group. So that kind of that creating evidence is sufficient enough to establish the legal ownership on this particular creation. So you people being from research area or from students from the masters and doctors course, generally you are publishing the research papers also on your research work. So keep in mind if really that what's the research you are doing, if it is patentable, you first file the patent and then submit the research paper. Okay. If you are going in the reverse process, first you are publishing the research paper and then filing the patent on that, then you will not get the patent. Your own research paper will kill the novelty of your own patent application. Okay, number one. And number two, be cautious, another side of it, because when if you are submitting a paper, research paper to any of the kind of a research forum or a conference or a kind of that research forum or any of the journals, as soon as you submit, you are getting only the distribution rights in the capacity of the author. The ownership of that rights or that work goes to that publisher. Okay. So really, if once you publish the paper in the journal and then if you are going for filing the patent, the journal will take the actions. Journal may take the actions against you. Okay, because yes, you have stolen that our IP and now you are going for filing the patent for that. Okay, so be cautious. The correct process: first file the IPs if your work is protectable under the IP, and then you publish the papers on that. So that's all about the copyright. When it comes to the geographical indications, so it is all about the kind of some products, agriculture products or any kind of that our products having the kind of a geographical significance. Okay, and this particular IP is mandatorily protected under the name of the association of the manufacturers. It is not individual's name, or either there should be the kind of a some body who is representing the kind of a that manufacturers. Okay, so when the name itself indicates a geographical indications, okay, so it's a kind of a some group from that specific geography manufacturing or producing a specific product. Okay, and that product should have at least one distinguishing characteristics. Okay, now just to give the example of this geographical indication is all about that Nagpur orange that is already protected, so it is have a kind of a that a specific texture and specific taste. So all that Nagpur orange growers, they have been protected by way of geographical indication on the Nagpur oranges. Okay, another example is that Kolhapuri chappal. Okay, so when you are walking and wearing that chappal, it is giving a specific noise of kach, 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 kach when you are walking. So by hearing that noise itself, that one can understand ki, yes, it is a Kolhapuri chappal. So that kind of some distinguishing character should be there, which will give the source identity of the source. Okay, so again, this IP will be or this GI will be in the name of that association of that chappal manufacturers. Now, in that case, all that raw materials, manufacturers, all that tanning of the leather, it should happen in the Kolhapur region only. Then and only then you will get that kind of a GI. Okay, so third example, it may be the basmati rice. Okay, so it is one specific pocket. Okay, it is again the manufactured, it should be manufactured by specific that group of manufacturers. And what is the distinguishing characteristic in that basmati rice is that it is giving us some appetizing aroma when you are cooking it. Okay, so all these are the examples of all GI. So Kangra tea, Scotch whiskey, or it is that it is a kind of that chandari saris or chicken saris or whatsoever it is, or kulu shawls. Okay, there are a lot of examples of this. Even that prasad, what you are getting at Tirupati when you are going there for darshan, so you are getting that one bundi laddu, which is quite hard. and having a specific test for that, so that even that laddu is also protected under the GI. Okay, so all these are the example of GI. Then next type is all about the plant variety protection. It is called as the farmer's right also. Okay, so it is governed by that protection of plant varieties and farmers right act 2001. Okay, and here again that the way in which I told you in the case of the patent, if you want to protect your technology, then it should meet that three requirement: novelty, inventive step, and utility. On the similar line, if you want to protect the variety, then your variety should meet the DUS requirement. DUS. DUS. D stands for the distinctiveness, U stand for the uniformity, and S stand for the stability. Okay, so if your variety is meeting the requirement of the distinctiveness or novelty, number one, uniformity number two, and stability number three, that is called the DUS, then only then you will get the kind of a right for the that your variety what you have created. Now, as far as that varieties enforcement period is concerned, it is 15 years for the annual crops, and if it is a trees and vines, then it will be 18 years. Okay. Now, there is one difference when you are going for the variety protection and the patent protection. In case of the patent, before you put your product or process or technology or method in the public domain or commercially exploited, you have to protect it under the IP. But in case of the this variety protection, first you have to grow that variety for 3 years. You need to develop or create that evidence on the distinctiveness, uniformity, and stability over the period of 3 years. And with that results, then you can file the kind of a registration for the that your plant variety. That's the difference between this. Okay, number one. Number two, in case of patent, you need to meet the requirement of novelty, inventive step, and utility. In case of variety protection, you need to requirement of the DUS, distinctiveness, uniformity, and stability. Okay, so that's the difference between this. So that's all about the different types of the IP. Now, why one should go for? Because it motivates the inventive research. Why one should go for the registration of this? It protects the right. It motivates the inventive research. It gives a recognition to you also as an inventor. It can work as a kind of a means of the wealth creation also. Okay, out of that you can create the wealth, the when which you can see that you have seen that example of the paper envelope. Mr. Madhav Buskute, he licensed that technology, so just by having the patent on how to make the paper envelope, he was earning the money. Okay, so this is how that it work as a means of wealth creation. It helps you to stay in the business or keeping your competitors out of the business. When you are already in the business or entrepreneurship, and when you want to go for some joint ventures, mergers, acquisitions, so in that case, this your IP portfolio helps you to bargain the power. Okay, and of course, it gives the image of some good, trustworthy organization also. Okay, so these are the certain benefits, and these are the understandable bullet point you can read also. And just to justify this bullet point, I will take a couple of case studies. Now here you can see Mr. Devesh Misri is the name of the that particular person, and Devesh Misri, he was a GT with me. He was working after getting graduated from KK College of Engineering. He was working with me as a GET, and whilst then he got selected as a for that master's course in MDes. Okay, that is a Masters of Design at NIT Ahmedabad. So while studying there, he developed a collapsible garment hanger. Garment hanger, simple technology. Okay, you might have seen that what you are using either to hang your blazer or your trouser, or the females they are using for saris or their costumes. Okay, and that our hanger you might have seen either it is in wood, plastic, or metal. So what is the limitation with that? So when not in use, it requires the more space for stacking in your wardrobe. Number one. Number two, if you want to carry your own hangers during your travel, then your baggage should have the kind of a plain and soft surface. Otherwise, that metal will bend and wood and plastic are likely to break into the pieces. And that's why to address these limitations, by using some riveted joints and telescopic link, it developed a foldable hanger. Okay, so when it is not, it can be folded like this much. Now you can carry in your own pocket. Okay, and when you want to use it, just you need to unfold it and use it. So for that, first he filed the patent, and then he discloses that product in one design fair in Bangalore. And one of the business entity like to do the business with that particular product, and that's why they approached to the Devesh Mistry and exchanged the kind of a licensing deal with him. And as a part of that, royalty of rupees 5 lakhs was paid to him, plus that was a lump sum royalty, plus recurring royalty of rupees 1 per sale of one hanger. Okay, now it is a company, it is a kind of a business entity. Okay, it, at least assuming that suppose it is manufacturing 1,000 hangers per day, so 1,000 rupees per day is the income out of this simple patented technology by Devesh Mistry. Okay, so this is the beauty. If you are doing whatsoever that research or improvements, or trying to address the farmers problem, or trying to simplify that technologies, so that the kind of a small and margin farmers also can use it. Okay, so capture that delta, capture that customization, have the ownership on that, and probably leverage that your patent with some kind of a business entity, or you yourself also can start the business by using that IP protected technology. Okay, I was talking about you can generate the revenue also. So this is how that Kodak sold their patent portfolio at the cost of 150 to 250 million US dollars to Google and Apple. So if you are having the good IP portfolio or patents, you can sell also. Even you can mortgage that patents with the bank in India to generate the loan. Okay, the way in which you are mortgaging your policies, your gold, or your that bungalow, or sometimes your plot. Okay, on the similar line, you can mortgage these IPs to generate the revenue out of it. Okay, then this is the third example, that how this in the film in Bollywood generally, that all that actor actresses, they are having their dress designers. So when the dress designer is giving them the solution or the that design, before that, that dress designers are filing the IP on that. So when the dress was designed for Bunty Bubbly movie by one dress designer, Mr. Verma, and when the same dress by the that actress was used in another movie, so it led to the infringement, and that's why dress designer asked for the damages of 2 crore. So this is how you can, if provided, if you are having the protection on your creation, you can generate the revenue, you can generate maintain your monopoly, okay, in the market, and you can sustain your business for longer period of time. Okay, for starting the business, IP is not mandatory, but for sustaining the business for longer period of time, and to have the sustainable growth of your entrepreneurship for longer period of time, that technology or processes on which you are doing the business or your business is based on, it should be protected under the IP. So that is one, and this is my own case. Okay, so how I had licensed that one technology with JML Polyfab, and here that our terms and condition was that yes, I will be giving the technology. Okay, you decide the cost. You sell at any cost, either on online mode or offline mode, whatsoever it is. Okay, but whatsoever the cost you are deciding that particular product. Okay, so 10% of that it should come to me because I am the technology giver. So this is that how I am generating the income. Okay, just developing one technology, licensing it, and now switching over to some another technology to develop. Okay, and that should be the kind of your approach when you are going to protect your technology or that your research under the IPR. Don't just file the IPR for the sake of filing the IPR. Okay, so that's all. Another example, already I talk about this story. Now, this particular slide I will skip. And if you are not protecting that your technology or your product or your process at the right time, then this may happen, which has happened with the Bajaj Auto Limited. Okay, so when they launched the Pulsar bike in the Sri Lankan market, here before launching they missed to file the design patent on this. Okay, and once you are launching the product, then you cannot file the patent on that. The same analogy I was trying to give you. Once you publish the paper, you cannot file the IP on that. Okay, and here, because that once you publish, you just put it in the public domain, and without filing the IP on that, that is the opportunity lost forever. Okay, and that's why on the very next day, Gulsar bike came in the market. Now, as far as the styling is concerned, and the styling is same. Even the way of writing that Gulsar and Pulsar on the fuel tank, it is same. Now the customer class, which is the styling savvy, now they have got the another option in the market, competitive option in the market, and if it as a kind of a cheaper rate as compared to the original one, definitely you will go for this. Okay, and here probably you will be losing the market share. Okay, and that's why I was focusing to sustain your the sustainable growth of your business or your entrepreneurship. Protection of your IP, protection of your technology or research under the IP is must. Okay, so if you are taking a simple example of pen, okay, so see from 360 degree where I can have the kind of a scope for filing the patent on that. Suppose if you are working on some kind of a that plastic formulation which is very cheap or something or the kind of a plastic grade which is not available in the market, then you can go the product patent on that. How we are manufacturing this pen by some blow molding process, this and that, and along with this process parameter, okay, which is not available in the public, that will be the process patent also. How this pen looks like to the bare eyes, it should be attractive also if you want to sell this. Okay, and that's why the shape of that particular product, it will fall under the design patent. The manufacturing drawings of this particular that product or pen, it will fall under the copyright. And to sell this pen, you will be probably coining some good name. Is pen बेचने के लिए क्या नाम दूं मैं? Okay, so that particular name falls under that particular trademark for protection. Okay, so single product, but there was the kind of some very big bunch of the IPs, and really that kind of that your approach will carry that value in that particular IP. Okay, and generally you might have seen this in our day-to-day life when you are decorating your drawing hall of your home to welcome your guest. So you are going for this kind of a bouquet on the center table. Am I right? Okay. You are not doing like this. You just you are filing a single IP or a single patent, it won't have that much of the value. Okay. But if you are making a bouquet of that, wherein that one flower is the patent, another flower is the process patent, third flower is the copyright, fourth flower is the trademark, fifth flower is the kind of some plant variety protection or any other thing or design patent. Okay, so that kind of a portfolio of that your IP on a single technology, okay, will have definitely high value, and that will lead your product or your technology to sustain the market for longer period of time. Okay, so having given or shared about all these things, okay, different types of the IP, their requirement or criteria, how it is beneficial to individual as well as the business entity level. Okay, so these are the four of our patent offices where we can file the patent. They are having the geographical jurisdiction. So we being from Maharashtra, we are attached to Mumbai Patent Office. I mean to say that Chhattisgarh to Goa, these five states are attached to Bombay Patent Office. Southern five states, they are attached to Chennai Patent Office. Northern seven states from Rajasthan to Bihar, they are attached to Delhi Patent Office. And Jharkhand to Odisha to Northeast, they are attached to Kolkata Patent Office. So these are the four patent offices in four metros. Okay, so that's all. And as far as that process of filing the patent application is concerned, so this flowchart, some you can see, I think. So as soon as you feel that you have done something differently, document that. Okay, if you are having that knowledge how to draft the patent, do it on yourself. But if you don't have that kind of a knowledge, hire a good patent drafter or good IP professional. he should be able to understand that technology as well. Okay, draft a good patent application, file it. Once you file that your patent application, then it becomes entitled to get published across the globe after 18 months. But if your strategy is very much clear, yes, you don't want to file the same technology as a patent in any other country apart from India, then there is no need of waiting for 18 months. You can prepone the publication by filing the Form 9. Because if you want to get your patent granted as early as possible, the publication is must. Okay. In the meantime, you need to file the Form 18, that is a request for examination. If your application is published and if you have filed the examination request, then the patent office will examine your case on that three criteria: novelty, inventive step, and utility. If it is a plant variety, then it will be dust test. If it is a design patent, it will be the novelty only.
Sir,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Can we just compile the session, sir?
Yeah. Just this is the last but one slide only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And once that your publication, once your case is examined, they will issue the examination report. They are citing their observations, which you have to comply with a written statement. Okay. If the patent office is convinced with that your written statement, they are granting your patent. If they are not convinced, then they are issuing the hearing. Okay, where you are coming face to face along with the patent office, you need to convince in light of the cited observations. And if the patent office convince post hearing, then they are granting. If not, your case is likely to get rejected. And once it is granted, then it's your property. How to leverage it, how to use it, where to use it, it's your call. Okay, so that's all about the kind of that our process. Now these are the processes for foreign filing, but I will not touch to that. I will limit to that our process to Indian filing only. So having understood that, just see, whenever you are doing the research, at least have the priority by filing the provisional patent application, then have the kind of a collaboration, the similar kind of that requirement I heard in the morning session also. Yes, there should be the kind of a collaborative work, so that it helps you to broaden the scope of your technology. Okay. So friends, having understood that, break the silos of your conventional thought process, come out of the comfort zone, be passionate to innovate, do something new. And once you have done something new, have the legal ownership on that, having its protection under IP, and by that way raise the quality of life of your own life, even the kind of innovation driven entrepreneur. Okay. And the opportunity to raise the quality of life is the biggest business opportunity that one of the biggest businessmen, Mr. Anand Mahindra, is saying. Okay. So get aligned with this, do something, have do good some research, work out some good technologies, have that legal ownership through IP, and if require any kind of your support in case of that patent filing. Okay, so you can get in touch with me at any moment of time. Okay, and these are my coordinates therefore. So here, in light of the that paucity of the time, I will stop here and will be very much happy to have that your questions or to reply your queries from your end. Thank you very much, friends. So any question, any doubt?
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable session. Now the
Yeah.
chat box is open for the question. Please drop your question in the chat box. So one question is there.
Yeah.
How do IPR, especially patents and plant variety protection, impact Indian farmers and traditional agriculture practices?
No, just say that because just say that already I told, because it depends on the nature of that your research. By way of the research, if really if you are working out a very good variety, have the legal ownership on that. If just you are publishing the research paper on that and releasing, keeping the knowledge open, okay, then any of the business entity or the other seed companies, they will copy that technology and they will be able to sell as per their whims and wishes. At the end of the day, whatsoever that investment you have done in your research, that will be waste, because the end user at the end of the day, that farmers will not be benefited out of that. But if really, if you are holding that IP by taking that protection under that plant varieties, then you can have the control in your own hand to maneuver that seed companies or that varieties or that kind of a business entities, number one. And on the similar logic, that will happen with the kind of some patent also. If suppose that if you have developed a kind of a very good machine, okay, which is doing the kind of a harvesting of the variety of the crops at a cheaper rate, and which is quite compact and can be usable by the kind of that small and marginal farmers, no need of going the kind of a big thresholds. Okay, so just you have just published the paper on that without taking the patent, then anyone will copy that, or some companies, they will make that machine in more sophisticated format and sell as per their that whims and again wishes to that end users, where that the benefit will be that whole the defeat of that research will get, whole the intent of that research will get defeated. Because whenever you are doing the research, yes, you are focusing the end user in the forefront. Yes, my research should be beneficial to the end user. And that's why when you are coming up with some good output out of that, whether it may be in the form of some process, it may be in the form of some technology, or it may be some, if you are a breeder, it may be in the form of the plant variety. Protect it under the IP to have the control in your hand, and so that you can make, or you can reach the benefits of that to the end users in the interest of the nation.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable answer.
Yeah.
One more question is there. Many
Yeah.
farmers are unaware of their rights under IPR laws.
Yeah.
What can be done to raise awareness and ensure they are not exploited?
देखिए
A
अभी
second
आपके यहाँ पे जो,
connected question is that can community level training and extension services can play a role in IPR knowledge making?
यस एग्जैक्टली, आपके यहाँ पे जैसे शिवार फेरी होता है, मेरे ख्याल से जून में होता है, एक सितंबर अक्टूबर या नवंबर में होता है।
Yes, sir. Yes.
ओके, शिवार फेरी में जैसे आप टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में उनको बताते हो, डिफरेंट वेराइटीज के बारे में बताते हो, डिफरेंट प्रैक्टिसेस के बारे में बताते हो। ओके, तो आपने भी ये ऑब्जर्व किया होगा कि इवन फार्मर्स आर आल्सो डूइंग लॉट ऑफ न्यू थिंग्स एट देयर एंड आल्सो, है ना? तो उनको अगर इनका भी नॉलेज दो कि भाई अगर आप भी कुछ नया करते हो तो ये आईपीआर से ऐसे होता है, आईपीआर मतलब ये, अब उस लैंग्वेज में बात करना पड़ेगा उनके, बराबर है? because every farmer will not be able to
Right.
understand the English or Hindi. So we'll have to come to that level. We'll have to go to the local language और उनके understandable language में उनको aware करना पड़ेगा, ऐसे छोटे मोटे अपने examples देके. Okay, then and only then that will help to bring the awareness in them.
Yes, right, sir.
Yeah. नहीं तो आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारा कुछ, मतलब just say that is the dark side of that academic organizations or institutes. Okay, sometimes you are doing your PG or research work or some project work of some university, agriculture university, that is in collaboration with some farmer. फार्मर ने वो मशीन बना रहता है, कुछ अपना छोटा मोटा कुछ करके आप लोग करते हो, एंड देन जस्ट पेपर्स आर गेटिंग पब्लिश. उससे होता क्या है कि some of the company captures that, they are again improving on that, they are making the better machine, and then they are selling it, they are doing the business. Actually the benefit of that joint work is going to the legal entity, not to the farmers. ये इसके वजह से कि that you are not more focused on protecting that technology under the IP. So awareness की जरूरत है. आपका शिवार पेरी है, आपके जो जितने भी forums रहते हैं where you are interacting with the farmers, तो उनके अंडरस्टैंडेबल लैंग्वेज में जो है इसका अवेयरनेस भी करना जरूरी है.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable answer. If
Yeah.
there are any questions or queries, we can forward it to you, sir, on your email or your
Sure,
LinkedIn or
sure.
any other links.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now moving forward, I I thank you, everyone, participants, those who have joined for the today's session. I thank you, our chief guest, Dr. Ashok Allur sir, our keynote speaker, S.R. Pund sir, our coordinator, Dr. S.J. Gaukar sir, and our organizing director, Dr. Badwal sir, and the most important, our participants. Thank you all for actively participating in the 2 days session. See you tomorrow for the next session of 21 days summer school training program. Thank you. Thank you everyone and have a great day.